Okay, welcome back. Thank you for clicking on the video. I am your pilot, Piper Doug. Please brace for impact. It's gonna be a hot day. It's supposed to be 33 degrees today. It's supposed to be 28 tomorrow. It's supposed to be 34 the next day. It's supposed to be 31 the day after that. And then down into the 20s. Lovely. Anyway, so we're back at this. So my Jimmy fix got us through. Like I said, I've got another hour and a bit of baling to do here, and then we'll go back to the grass in the south field. So yeah, hopefully this week should see all of the first cut done on the multi-cut fields. Like I said, we might still be doing some cutting in some of these other fields. Probably not the north dam, but the south dam, there's a couple of spots in it where it's really heavy. And at this point, the cows now have the last two paddocks, so they have another half a month up here before they go into the ravines. And yes, you guessed it, they're up in the corner by the water trough. Now, it's kind of smart today because they're kind of staying out of the sun by the water. They do go out there, as you saw in the previous video, where they just walk around and yell at each other, and it's all kind of just confusing. Anyway, so today, going to put the new bearing in this and do a couple hours of baling, and then probably shut the tractor down once I'm done this field and give it a break for the couple hours before supper, because that's usually when it's hottest, and I just don't want to push the tractor too hard. Because I know it's going to be a little cooler tomorrow. Yeah, and I'll try and get into as much of the other one. Anyway, so big shout out to Cubby up at, well, it's Dayton's, but it's now Ann's Brothers. So for that bearing there, on that, which is the roller behind the drive, the one with rubber, the roller with the bars on it, so it's like a stuffer roller. Blinking flies. So this is the bearing number for that. So it is a larger hex opening, which is the crappy thing. I don't know why a roller that has nothing else connected to it, it's not a drive, just a stuffer roller. So apparently they need to be extra humdinger. So he gathered up as many of the bearings that he knew, there's the cap, that he knew that I would need right off the bat that he had. So as you can see up there, there is one of the rollers up there that's in pretty, I don't know if that's prior damage, so I don't remember seeing that there. That scorching on that roller. It does get hot when it's working, but they kind of do. There is net wrap in there though. So I'm hoping I can at least get done this, get caught up, and then I will attempt to pull that roller up and out and get the bearings, because I'm pretty sure I have those ones here ready to go. So yeah, he gave me a big bearing with a cast brackets, like one of the, I think it's for like the corner of the door, and then there's another weird one. So this is what he had. So there's two big bearings, and then two heavy duty bearings, and then two of the average bearings, and that's $1,000. Now, fair enough, these big brackets, I probably don't need the actual brackets, the bearings. I'll just be, so I can take the brackets back. But yeah, it doesn't take long to add up bearings on balers. But you kind of need them, or they get a little hot and a little burny. So anyway, I'm gonna get out. So replaced the bearing, went back baling, and then squeaking started. And then the squeaking stopped. I thought, oh, because I thought maybe there was a stone stuck in the trough where the stuffer arms are. Yeah, that pesky stone. Yeah, that's not a stone. Dang near set far to my belt. Now, that's why I don't listen to the radio while I'm baling. I don't listen to anything except my thoughts, and that's a scary place to be at the best of times. So yeah, after it went quiet, I'm just kind of paying attention. And when I was coming north, and the wind is from the south right now, because I don't know if I said in the last clip, it's hot as Satan's sandshoe. I smelled the hot straw, and you all know what that smell is like. So, kicked out the bale at the end of the row, got out, checked it, said, nope, yeah, we have a problem, Houston. It wasn't the roller I thought it was. I thought it was that big one up there with the scorch mark. Nope, it's on the sledge down here. So I went to my book and checked to see how to get the sledge to stay out here when you close the door, because the sledge kept going back inside. Doesn't tell you in the book. If y'all know where it is in the book, then maybe you can tell me. Oh, that needs welded. So yeah, you open the door, then you hit the lock, and then you let the hydraulics down, and it'll let the sledge down, because the lock only works on the door ram, not the baler rams. The tensioner rams, I mean. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna work on getting this roller out of here. I might need Mrs. Piper Doug to come help me put it back in, because it looks like it's a bit of a beggar to deal with. So anyway. Happy August! Turn the fan off for a bit. So yeah, happy August 1st. It's no secret, I'm not a fan of hot weather. I know a lot of people are not really all that much fans of hot weather, but the heat really bugs me because of my back issues. But you deal with it. So, haven't filmed a lot over the last couple of days, been a lot of stuff going on. And when I say 2024 is a bit of a dumpster fire, I'm not joking. So the little cab that had the broken leg and we had it casted, 2 days ago it bloated up. Started treatment on it and it was dead within an hour. So yeah. Had to cut our losses on that one, so $300 in casting and then a whole bunch of medications, and the cab still died. So then we tried to load up Mum and take it away to the train station, and she broke out of the pen that we were trying to load her from. And then the next day I went and I brought the dead baby back, and Mum followed the dead baby across to the crush, and we got it loaded up and she's gone. So she's away to pay her cab's debt. So we still have about 100 acres. Actually, no, not to say 100 acres. We still have about 100 to about 130 bales to do down in the hayfield, and then we have some roadside still to bale. Today it's supposed to be 32 degrees. There's hardly a breath of wind, so it's awful. So yeah, right now with the fan open here, it's not great. So we're a bit of a standstill. No, it's not the baler. No, the blue tractor broke down and it's dead in the water. So it sits running, but it won't go into gear. So I'm going to enter a picture here. So what you're looking at is the speed sensor that's down on the valve body for the power shift. It's an 18-speed power shift, so it's like a toggle up, toggle down. Well, none of that'll work if the speed sensor is not picking up speed. That's what I've been told by Shout out to Malcolm at Harg, Scottish guy who was a Ford mechanic, now works for a private company working on fleet machines. And then Tim up at Mazers in Shoal Lake. They kind of said, yeah, that speed sensor, if it's in bad shape, then you're out of luck. The other downside to it is because it is a 1991 tractor. They don't even have the part in Regina, so it's either going to come from Lisbon in the USA or come from way out east in Toronto, Ontario, or Quebec, or somewhere like that. Only problem is next Monday is a long weekend holiday here in Canada, so it might be quicker just to get them to ship it from the US. At least it will be actually traveling on Monday, and we'll have it by Tuesday morning, which is still 4 days away. So we're at a standstill for 4 days. So I'm going hauling bales. We've got some relatives coming to visit this afternoon and doing a dedicated tree planting in honor of my mum. And so yeah, like I said, 2024 has been a bit of a dumpster fire when it comes to a lot of things. So, but you gotta look on the bright side, because there's always a bright side, and I will come up with a bright side and tell you about it at some point. So I'm going to turn the AC back on before I melt, and we'll get the next load of bales loaded up. Hey, would you guys like to know how far behind Piper Doug is in haying this year with all the dumpster fires he's had? Yeah, that's how far behind Piper Doug is. Second cut is already halfway up the front wheels and flowering. Well, I'm a third of the way bale picking the first field.
Yeah, that's fun.
Come back, but you know what, I'm not upset. Yeah, we still have about 100 bales worth of hay swaths laying on the ground, but that's fine, because the great thing is, as you'll have seen from the previous clips, the field that we're hauling the bales off, the first field, the big quarter, has already come back, oh my gosh, like huge. But the second field kind of just stopped. The silage field and the south field, they've just, the last part's cut, literally they'd stopped growing, and the grasshoppers have started getting really bad. So this rain should slow the grasshoppers down, and it should really get the other field's second cut to really take off, so that's good. And in the previous clips with the old red fella out there baling up, I made sure to go and break up what was still left to bale into paddocks. That way that if the rain did amount to anything this morning, which we were kind of thinking it might, because the weather guessers have been sort of up and down on, oh, it might rain, it might not. As soon as they start doing that, you know it's gonna rain, and a good chance it's gonna be quite a lot. So we've had just over half an inch, which is great. It's great for the pasture, it's great for the cows. It's going to be great for getting the fencing projects that I've got to do here right away. It's going to be awesome for getting all the extra posts in. So yeah, I made up those spaces in the the hay field that's still to bale. That way I can get in there with the rake and flip all the swaths, because they're quite large. Because I think for the most part in that field it was running about 5 bales to the acre. So yeah, those swaths won't be drying out on their own too quickly, and they're calling for another chance of rain middle of next week. So the rain is tailing off. You can start to see cracks in the clouds, so that's good. So we're going down to the blue tractor. Big shout out to Mazers. They got this critical shipping, which I'd never heard of before, which will no doubt cost me an arm and a leg, but I don't care because this is desperately needed. Now, for the most part, I am planning to do the rest of the first cut baling with the red tractor, because he deserves it. He's worked hard. But I'd like to have the blue tractor ready to go in case anything does go wrong, and I want to get this wrapped up because we got lots to do. So I'll bring you back when we get there. So here he sits dead in the water. So yeah, our problem is that. So we got to drop the oil and pull that out and plug in the new one. Hopefully it's that simple. Yeah. Let's get out. Okay, in my defense, I did ask a Ford New Holland mechanic. Oh, hey there, Mr. Dragonfly. I did ask a Ford New Holland mechanic if it's a wet casing where the speed sensor is, and he couldn't give me a definitive answer. So he said, well, drain the oil down below where the sensor is. Well, as you can see, the sensor is near the bottom. So I brought the buckets. So I unscrewed the old one really slowly and nothing came out. And I know there's oil in the proper places, but this is the clutch housing. So it must read off of either the clutch or flywheel or something, but so yeah, it's a magnetic pickup. So yeah, don't know why, don't know what happened, but she blew apart. And for anybody else doing this job, New Holland doesn't give you a new O-ring with the new part. So I had to recover the old O-ring for now. It should be fine, but typically you'd want to put a new one in, but here we are. So I am going to put it back as it was. I brought Teflon, like fuel safe Teflon tape, but looks like I don't need it, so let's get her back together. Okay, so as no doubt you will see, we're still sitting here. So I changed the sensor, it did nothing. So the issue we have is, if you watch this, I'll turn the ignition off. See, that part of the display disappears. That comes on. What you should still see now is N for neutral, and then 0. So though you go that way and you'll get an F, and then if you go left you'll go into a lower number, or if you go right you'll go into a higher number from 0 to 18. So we got nothing. Honest to gosh, destructive little buggers. It just reeks. Yeah, I've already found, I don't know how many wires that are broken. Oh my gosh. Seriously? Little cretins. Sorry, I keep pointing the camera at the side of the cab here. Oh my gosh, what a mess. Well, I know what I'm going to be doing for the next... There's bare wires. Bare wires. I think I now know where we're getting dead shorts all over the cab and why the AC keeps blowing up. Wow. Well, if I could take this cover off, it would help me get up into here, because now I know why the display's been blank. Wow, what a poop show. Literally a poop show. This is where if the tractor was at the workshop, I could vacuum this out, but I'm over a mile away from the workshop. Man, oh man. I'm gonna have to try and pull the ECM out of there, and that'll give me some more room to work on the wires. Okay, it is the Monday, and yes, it's a long weekend for normal people. Turn off the blower. So what's the plan today? So, as you can see, silage field is greening up lovely, and yes, all the bales are still out there, but at least the bales are off the headlands, and as you can see, headlands are flowering pretty good. And as you can see, headlands are really tall. I was telling Mrs. Piper Doug last night, where the heaviest ground is, headlands are actually taller than the first cut. So this goes back to people thinking that there was some late frosts as well as the hailstones kind of hindered the first cut. Well, I think that's pretty accurate, because here where we've had lots of moisture and all the rest of it, we still didn't get the huge yields that people thought we were going to get. We still did exceptionally well. So the plan today is I've got to unload this trailer, and then we're going to go and hook the rake up and flip the last of these swaths over, because the underside's still pretty drippy. Now I could probably leave them for a couple of days if we had the sun and some wind, but we're not supposed to have much wind today and not much sun today and tomorrow, and then we're supposed to have rain again on Wednesday and Friday apparently. So I'm going to flip the rows, and then hopefully old red fella is going to finish off the first cut baling. Because you'll have seen in the previous clips, the blue tractor it's out of the game right now. So until we can get a mechanic, a Ford tech down, because they have to do something with those codes in the transmission. Because I put it on the Facebook page for New Holland Ford tractors, and a mechanic had said, yeah, there's a whole thing that you have to do to test all the solenoids in the transmission. So I don't know whether it has to be recalibrated because the wires were all broken and messed up. So I just go to assume that blue tractor will not be doing anything for a while until that's done. So we'll just run business as usual. There's less than 100 bales to do, so at least there's that. So, and it's cool right now, so let's get on. Get after her, old man. But the first block almost done. Lift them up, you put a pin in the other side, then you don't need to let that side down, because it's a little too close in the end there, and it was catching some of the times when it was leaning that way. Plus, as you can see, there's still a few teeth missing on that side. I didn't get it all quite finished, but that side I had totally rebuilt. So okay, we'll get on to the next block. Well, you know, it wouldn't be Piper Doug's day without some sort of calamity. I tell you, the clouds know that Piper Doug did some raking, because they're making him awful nervous. The good thing is I always keep a spare. So actually, the little one over there by the door is the real spare, because it's the small one. Because Donald, my brother, he had the local semi-shop get us these, I don't know what they call them. They're like the bigger rims that still fit onto the smaller stars. There's a name for them, I can't remember what the heck it is. So this machine had all of those wheels. I don't know where they all went because I'd kind of like to have more of those little ones as spares. But for whatever reason, the air left the chat. So, as far as I know, we're all still good. So I'm going to pull that off, put the spare on the inside, and then put the actual spare on the outside until I get that one over to Jody's and get those guys to check it over, because yeah, we just get tires that fail the safety, but they're still got really good sidewalls because they're all good tires. Oh, that one's got a bit of a chitter to it. Oh gosh. Okay, well, looks like I'm going to be busier now. Okay, so went in and had supper after getting the raking done. And yeah, we had a rain shower. Just a little one, but we had a rain shower. Wasn't in the forecast, the weather guessers did not have that on at all. So that's fun. As you can see, the tires are a little dampish. So yeah, take a look at this. So not just the headlands, but that's the interior of the silage field. So yeah, so we got half of the big quarter, the big hay field. Half of it bales hauled off of it, and now at this point we would cause more damage going and fetching the rest of the bales than we would by picking them up and getting them off the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and get these bales hauled off as quick as I can and conserve this field and the next one. And then after that point, we'll probably be getting close to, well, once we get that done and get the fencing done, we're going to be close to starting second cut. Because the headlands are already almost the height of the front tires, so. Oh my gosh. I was just saying to Mrs. Piper Doug, I said if we could find whoever put the curse on our equipment this year, oh my gosh. That's literally the reason we are so far behind, is just with so many breakdowns. It is unbelievable. But talking to a lot of people, and everybody's in the same boat. Everybody's having mechanical problems. Like crazy amounts of mechanical problems. So just do what you can do. That's all I can say. So I'm probably going to end the video here because I'm going to be doing this until dark, and then we'll get this video uploaded and we'll go from there. So in the next video you'll probably see us getting hopefully the last of that baling done. The old red fella sitting up there ready to rock and roll. As you can see, the bale yard is starting to shape up. That's a stack up there, which is the stack that this field sits on. That stack there is the big quarter, so that's only half of them in so far. What was that? 12 loads? That's half of the 12 of these semi-loads is half of what's on that field. And yeah, those bales in the south field is what's sitting there. So that's why I like to space them out, that way the hay's not all sitting in one stack. Anyway, thank you for watching the video, everybody, and fingers crossed on for a better week. I know it's supposed to be a cooler week this week, and I'm hoping to get the haying wrapped up and the bales hauled so then I can get the fencing, because I'd really like to fence while it's cooler and the ground's damp, then the posts will go in nicer. So fingers crossed. All positive thoughts for us, please. Get on with this job. Oh my gosh, summer's gonna be over before we know it, and I haven't even had a breath. Anyway, oh yeah, and maybe we'll try and get this blue tractor figured out this week as well. Okie dokie. We'll see you next week, everybody. Bye.